I think we've weirdly got a few things in common that we probably wouldn't have thought.
I don't think we have anything in common except probably STDs.
Day one. That's right, day one. We're still on day one. I haven't even reviewed anything since launch night, so let's just get right into it with day one. Day one, Sean lost the task about, acting nervous or whatever. He lost the task, so he has to choose someone to nominate. He chooses Marissa, and he chooses Marissa because he said that earlier, she was talking about how she said that you need to watch out if you get in my space or some shit like that. So he said that made him a bit nervous, so that's why he chose Marissa. So then we see Sarah a little bit later, and she's talking about her ex to Paul Denan outside. Who is Sarah's ex? Is he a celebrity too? Because the way she keeps bringing him up and the way that everyone seems to know him, he must be famous, right? So then we see Jordan and Trisha, and they have a little conversation. Jordan's like, "Hey, Trisha, I love your outfit." And Trisha immediately shuts him down. And Trisha's like, "You have a lot of energy. How old are you? Are you 18? What do you do? What are you famous for?" He starts telling her about his job. She's like, "You do stupid things. I can tell you're like extra." He's like, "No, I'm not an extra." He was thinking like an extra, like in movies or in shows, like someone who like stands in the background and like kind of fills in the space. Like extra like that. But she's like, "No, I mean like extra, like over the top, like you're a lot or whatever." Then he starts talking to her. He's like, "Hey, I've seen your YouTube videos. You're crazy." She's like, "No, I just stay inside all day. Like, I don't do anything. I'm really boring. I'm not crazy at all." So then she starts asking him like if he's a hooker and all this stuff. And he's like, "No, I'm not a hooker." And she's like, "Well, earlier you said that you show guys and girls a good time." And he's like, "No, like, I mean, I'm a tour. I do tours in Ibiza or whatever the fuck, Magaluf or wherever the fuck." Then she starts talking about circumcision. She starts asking him if he has skin on his dick. And he's like, "Yeah, I have skin on my dick." She starts asking him if he's gay. He's like, nah, I'm not gay. Then she asked him if he would ever get naked on TV. And I think he said that he had before some shit and something. And she's like, "Well, can you show your dick?" "You should do it right now." He's like, no, I'm not going to do it right now." She's like daring him. She's like, "Go jump in the pool naked." He's like, "No." She's like, "Well, you need a few more drinks. After a few more drinks, you'll probably go get naked." So then a little bit later, we see Chad talking to the boys. We saw a little bit this on the live feed that night from the live launch. We saw some of the live feed, and Chad was just talking to the boys, and they're all like talking about how he's American and all this stuff. Then he starts talking about the nudes and the nudes that he gets like on his phone, like the girls send him nudes, and he's talking about how girls always send him pictures or videos of them washing their asses or some shit. And he's like, "I'm not gonna not watch it, but it's like weird." Then little Tom wannabe, is talking about how he only gets dick pics in his DMs, in his Snapchat stories or whatever. Then we see Trisha. She's talking to Gemma about her hooker days and how she's how she's bi or whatever, how she's into girls and stuff. They start talking about their stripper days. I knew Trisha was a stripper because that was in one of her like interviews that she did. But I never knew that she was a hooker. I never seen those videos on her channel. But apparently there's this whole series on her channel where she talks about being a hooker and like tales from those days and stuff. Then we see Amelia and Chad in the kitchen. Amelia is 22. She's talking to Chad. She tells her that she's 22, and Chad tells Amelia that he's 29. I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I really don't think he's 29. So then Stephen Bear's dad, aka Paul, breaks the fire alarm. He's trying to go into the diary room. He thinks it's the button that like you have to press to go into the diary room. So he pushes the little thing and it breaks, and it's the fire alarm. The fire alarm goes off. Everyone has to go outside. In all fairness though, like, why is the fire alarm button right next to the diary room door? And the diary room button is like all the way downstairs. In all fairness, like, okay, I can kind of see how someone stupid like Paul would accidentally mistake that for the fire alarm. So around 2:00 in the morning, the bedroom doors finally open the fuck up. Brandy just like casually walks in. Like, I don't know how she wasn't running at all, but she was the first one in the bedroom. She picks her bed. Then everyone else we see running in a panic chooses all their bed. Gemma realizes that Helen doesn't have a bed. Ellen's kind of an older housemate. So Gemma gives up her bed to Helen, and then Gemma and Brandy are going to share a bed. So that was nice. That was pretty nice of her. And then the blue bedroom, I don't know what the name of that bedroom is called still. I keep like forgetting or something. The blue bedroom are Trisha, Paul, Sarah, Amelia, Chad, Sandy, Karthik, Marissa, and Derek eventually has to move in there because there are no more beds in Rose Blossom Cottage or whatever the fuck it's called. So Derek has to share a bed with Karthik Nagathan. Then like one of the last scenes of the episode is Chad going into the diary room and talking about how he's basically down to fuck all these girls because all the girls in the house are hot. Okay, whatever. Day 2 starts off with Marissa. Marissa is working out in front of Jordan and Sam, trying to show off all her goods, trying to show off how flexible she is. She's like busting it open, bending it over, dipping it down, doing the whole thing in front of Jordan and Sam.
Oh my God. All right. Let's do some yoga.
I don't know if she's trying to flirt. I don't know what the fuck she's trying to do. They're all loving it. They're all eating it up. They all love Marissa. And then I kept thinking, why doesn't Big Brother get like gym equipment inside of the house? We see Big Brother Australia back whenever that was on had gym equipment. Big Brother US has had gym equipment. I mean, I don't really watch, but I know that they do have gym equipment. They really need to start getting like a treadmill or a fucking some free weights or Bowflex or some shit up in there for them to work out on. Anyway, so then a little bit later we see Trisha. She's telling Sam about how he and Jordan act and look like little fucking boys. Trisha's like casually just like dragging them. She's just like, I thought y'all were 16. And Sam's like, yes. And Trisha's like, that's not a good thing. He's like, well, I like that. And I'm like, why do you want to look like you're fucking 16 and 15-year-old? So you can go fucking pull 15-year-old girls, you fucking pedophile creep looking ass motherfucker. Who in their right mind in their 20s wants to look like they're in their fucking they're 15? Like, who wants to look like a teenager when you're in your 20s? Trisha then goes on to say that Chad is the manliest guy in the house. Because Sam was like, if we're not men, then what do you consider a man? What is a man in America? And she's like, well, Chad, honestly, is probably the manliest guy in the house. Trisha wants like a grown ass man, like a muscly, hairy man, not like a little boy who has to like pluck and prim and shave and do all this shit and like look all pretty. She wants like a man, you know what I mean? Like Chad, I guess, is an example physically of someone that I guess Trisha might be into. We get to the task of the day, and it's a talent show, and they're going to be put in pairs, and they have to perform their talents. The judges of this talent show are Helen, Sandy, and Chad. Don't ask me how they got to be the judges, but they are the judges. So the first pair are Amelia and Sarah. They get up on stage, and they sing this beautiful song that I think is Sarah's like band, Girls Aloud. It's one of her songs. They sing it. It was beautiful. They slay. You can tell they're actually talented, singers, like vocalists. Like they're for real. The next pair are Brandy and Marissa. And what they are doing is basically, if you've ever seen RuPaul's Drag Race, they're doing the reading challenge.
First up, Ginger Minge. The library is open, darling.
Miss Fame. I think everything about you is so original, except for those lips, those cheeks, and everything you present to the judges on the runway.
Bitch! Miss Fame, you are such a talented makeup artist. I have never met anybody who's able to shove their head so far up their own ass without smudging their eyeliner.
As you see, you have to like have the glasses on and you have to do the whole thing. It's supposed to be like fun and like people are supposed to like laugh and it's supposed to be kind of lighthearted. It's not supposed to be this like straight just dragging people through the fucking mud. So the next pair are Derek and Karthik. Basically, Derek does this like magic trick. I don't know what it was. This magic trick, like psychic ghost story thing, and he makes like some coins move. And somehow it was tied back to it being Sam who was the one who made the move because it was Sam's birthday or some shit. It was just too much and too deep. Trisha and Gemma go next, and they have to basically perform a viral video on stage. And Trisha combines the Touch My Body challenge, the Lick My Body challenge, and the What Is In My Mouth challenge, which are all 3 legitimate challenges here on YouTube. They're 3 challenges, and she combines them all, and it's like this weird performance art thing. Helen, one of the judges, said that it was extraordinarily inventive, intriguing, and charming. Okay, that's really nice for all that. I just would have said it was good. Sean and Paul, not to be confused with Sean Paul, they do a 30-minute long fucking improv soap opera thing. I mean, it was good, don't get me wrong, but it was long and boring and like I'm not into soap operas. So then the next pair are Jordan and Sam. They give a striptease / lap dance kind of routine thing to Pony by Genuine. You know, the fucking song from Magic Mike that everyone knows. And they win. They win the fucking talent show somehow. Somehow they win over the beautiful voices of Sarah and Amelia, or even the acting, the improv acting. They somehow win over that. I don't fucking know how, but they won. So then a little bit later, we see Chad, and he's outside talking to Jordan and Marissa, and he's like really fucked up. He's really drunk. He's really, really, really drunk. Everyone says that they don't get that much alcohol in the house, but they be fucked up. And Chad's a big dude. Like, it would take a lot for him to get drunk. Chad was feeling kind of, he was looking like he was feeling kind of drunk. So, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, he's talking to Marissa and Jordan, and he's just saying how before he was famous, it was easier for him to get laid because he feels like now girls only want to have sleep with him, only want to have sex with him because of his fame now, and so now he just like prefers to jerk off and go to bed. That's what he says. Then a little bit later after that, we see Paul Danan. He's bitching because some of the housemates are outside and he's trying to go to sleep. I don't know what time it is. I mean, I'm assuming it's late, but it's like, Paul Danan, it's the second fucking night. You cannot be complaining about the bedtime and about them trying to turn off the lights on the second night. Like, you have a whole month or so in the house. Like, come on now. Day 3. Sam, Jordan, and Marissa are outside, laying out, tanning, and they're all making fun of Marissa's accent. They're kind of flirting with her. They're like, "Ooh, can you say daddy in that, New York accent?" She's like, "Daddy," and they're all fucking going crazy and shit. Then we see Sandy in the diary room, and she's talking about how the housemates be acting different after they start drinking. And she's like, "Well, you're not going to catch me acting different because I don't fucking change when I drink," and all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then we see Brandy, and she's in the diary room talking about Chad. I kind of get this weird feeling that like Brandy likes Chad a little bit. Like, she might have a little bit of crush on Chad. I mean, I could be wrong, but it just seems like she's the type that would be, she's not the type to be like cuddly and loving towards someone she likes. She is the type to be like a bitch towards them and like a cunt towards them, because that's just how she shows affection. Like, that's just the kind of person she is. And it seems like she's kind of doing that with Chad. I mean, I could be wrong. So then we get to the task of the day, and I guess they still had some gold and black shit left over from, the previous season, because it was a black and gold, team black task. Or one of the teams had to sit like underneath these fucking tubes things, and the other team, the opposite team, had to guess facts about that team. If they got the fact right about the person from the other team, then the tube that was above them would like spit out all this fucking, it looked like egg yolk. It was like a bunch of fucking egg yolk all over them. Yeah, they do this at the beginning of every Big Brother. It's like a match the fact with the housemate kind of thing. They do it at the beginning of every single Big Brother. So the first fact for the team was that who slashed the tires of their ex-husband after they found out their partner was cheating on them or some shit. They all basically said Brandy. That was correct. The answer was Brandy.
Get ready, gal.
She said that she slashed her ex-husband's Harley Davidson's tires. And then Sam goes, "I think that's sexy." The second fact is that this person paid $70,000 to have... Oh, no. This person got paid $70,000 to have a one-night stand with an NBA player. And Paul, he's the one reading the question. And he's like, "We all know it was Trisha because Brandy doesn't whore herself out like Trisha does." And I was like... I made a mental note. I was like, okay, Paul. Okay. We're already beginning to see the type of person that Paul is. Stay tuned. So yeah, Paul makes the comment and says that, Brandy doesn't whore herself out like Trisha does. And then Brandy says, actually, you don't know people's situations. You don't know people's circumstances, Paul. So then Paul's like, oh, was it you, Brandy? Was it you then? And Brandy's like, no, that wasn't me. So they all say Trisha. They push the button. It was Trisha. She gets the gunk, the fucking yellow jizz all over her body. And then Sam says, "Trisha, you're a jack of all trades." She's like, "I think $70,000 for a night with someone is great. So I'm proud of it. It's fine. I don't consider it whoring out. I would have sex for free, so why not get paid for it?" Fair enough, girl. Fair enough. And then she says, "He was great. He was married. He was an asshole. I took his money and his dick." So the third fact is that this person has claimed that they have two-timed Harry Einfield. I don't know who the fuck Harry Einfield is. They all say it was Helen. It was Helen. She took the gunk like a champ. She just sat there. It all just went over her. The next fact is that this housemate has claimed to have slept with 1,500 fucking women. And then Gemma says, it can't be Jordan because just 2 years ago, he said that it was 600 women. So it can't be Jordan. It must be someone else. So Lindsay and Gaz, you guys have some more math to do because on their podcast, they were trying to figure out like the math of how many people per year Jordan would have had to sleep with to get to that number. And if he's only 25, then how many people? They were trying to do the math. So now you have a new variable to throw in there. So you know that 2 years ago, it was 600. So like, how does that affect the overall outcome now? It's all bullshit anyway. Like he's totally fucking lying. So whatever. So yeah, it was Jordan. They all guessed Jordan. It was Jordan. The next fact is that this person has had 12 cosmetic surgery procedures. Paul says Trisha. Then he's like, actually, it might be Brandy because we know that she's had her boobs done, but it might be more than just her boobs. And then Karthik, fucking asshole Karthik is like, you've had your boobs done, Brandy? How small were they before? Fucking asshole. Anyway, yeah, so the right answer was Trisha. She gets some more gunk on her. She said that she has had her arms done, upper flanks, lower flanks, back, butt, boobs, twice, sphinx, lips, thighs, sculpting, waist, and ribs all done. I don't even know what half those things are, but those are all the things that she's had done. The sixth fact was that this person was asked to visit a crime scene at the center of the O.J. Simpson trial. They all say it was Derek. It was Derek. And then Paul's like, wow, that's well done, Derek. That's well done. That's amazing to be asked to be able to do that. Why is that amazing? Someone fucking got murdered. Why is that? That's not amazing. To be asked to go to a crime scene. That's amazing. That's not fucking amazing. Derek is sitting there. He's explaining himself about why he had to go to the middle of the O.J. Simpson trial. And he's sitting there. Meanwhile, this fucking egg yolk drippy goo is just dripping off of his face. But he's being so serious and he's telling the story. It's just like dripping yellow gunk all down his face. So the next fact is that this person worked as a postman before they ever found fame. They figure it's either Sean or Paul. They go with Paul, but it was wrong. It was wrong. So Paul doesn't have to get gunk on him and Sean doesn't have to get gunk on him. The next fact is that this person has been expelled from multiple schools. Like, what a boring fact. You're like, how old now? You don't have any facts about you, like, being an adult. That's so weird. They all say Gemma. It was Gemma. She gets gunked. This person has raised 552 pounds by selling monobrow merchandise. Obviously, it was fucking Karthik. They all say Karthik. He gets spunked on. So at this point, Big Brother is like telling everyone to remain silent. Housemates must remain silent. Housemates must remain silent. And Big Brother had been telling them, like, throughout the challenge, we saw that Big Brother was telling them to keep remaining silent. So then Big Brother was like, housemates must remain silent. And then Jordan and Sam keep talking behind Trisha, and Trisha turns around. She's like,
Remain silent. Like it's not that hard. Not like we keep yelling all that. Just remain silent.
You're doing really well, guys. Remain silent. Remain silent.
They have to keep going now.
I mean that, sorry.
This is Naomi Campbell's cousin.
Right. Naomi Campbell's cousin. Might be Sarah.
No, it's good.
and then we see Brandy kind of trying to calm her down, and then Trisha, she gets mad at Brandy. She's like, no, fuck that. Like,
Honey.
No, I can say what I want. Like they say, remain silent. It's not that hard.
if I say anything, everyone always has to attack me, but Jordan and Sam and everyone else can say anything they want and no one says anything to them. Like, fuck that. So she's going off, and then they're fucking Jordan and Sam just keep going.
Remain silent. Remain silent. It's not that hard. Remain silent. Remain silent. It's not that hard. Remain silent. It's not that hard.
Remain, like, being so fucking ignorant. It was so immature of them. I just wanted to fucking, ooh, they're so fucking annoying. They're so fucking immature. Trisha was right. They do act like fucking 16 and 15-year-old. They act younger than 16. They act like 13-year-old fucking kids. They're so annoying. So the next fact is that this person is Naomi Campbell's cousin. It's like, who else? Let me just look in the crowd and see. Oh, the one black person. It must be them. Like, obviously. So yeah, it was Sandy. Sandy is apparently Naomi Campbell's cousin. I can kind of see it if I'm being honest. Like, they both have like like long faces. You know what I mean? Like I can kind of see it. The next fact is that this person was sacked from Panto after swearing at a 3,000 strong crowd. I have no idea what any of that means, but it was Paul. Then he goes on to tell the story, whatever. The task is over. They get all the questions right except for like I think one question. Again, I don't know if they win anything. I don't know what's going on, if they're just playing for bullshit or what the hell. So now we get back to the house. Chad is talking to Karthik about like why he about his unibrow and like why he doesn't just shave his unibrow. Karthik's like, because it's not bothering me. It's not a trouble for me. It's not a hassle for me. So I'm just gonna keep it. Good for him. I gave him shit in the first episode about his unibrow, but you know what? Fair enough. If it's not hurting anyone, it's not bothering him, who cares about his fucking unibrow? You know what I mean? So then we see Trisha and Paul. They're in the bathroom trying to wash off all of the egg yolk, and she's kind of just talking to him about what just happened with Jordan and fucking him yelling at Trisha and stuff. And Paul's like, you need to say something to Jordan. And she's like, bitch, I did. I fucking did say something. Then Jim and Lucy, we see Jim and Lucy. She's in the hot tub with a bunch of the housemates, and she's kind of calling out Jordan, even though Jordan isn't there. But she's saying how Jordan basically is lying about having slept with 1,500 women because 2 years ago she was telling him it was just 600. There's no way that he's more than doubled that amount in just 2 years. Trisha's in the diary room and she's kind of crying. She's complaining about how everyone in the house sucks. She wants to leave now. Can she get paid for 2 days in the house? Actually 5 days in the house because she was there early and all this stuff. She said that she's been extremely boring on purpose to try to like avoid people and try to stay out of people's way. Then she starts crying about a washcloth.
You guys don't even have washcloths. I can't even wash my body properly because there's no washcloths. I just want a washcloth. It's like I can't even scrub my butt or anything because I have washcloths.
Then we see Chad and he's talking to Brandy outside and he's asking Brandy if he has been a dick, if it's coming across that he's been a dick or whatever. And she's like, no, you're not, I wouldn't say a dick, but you do come across dumb as fuck and you do over sexualize everything. And she's like, you come across kind of as a male chauvinist pig kind of type of guy. So speaking of male chauvinist asshole housemates, Karthik fucking leans over into Sarah. Sarah's talking to Amelia. Karthik leans over into Sarah and is like, what you need to do is you need to go inside and get pretty, then come back outside. Bitch, fuck you, Karthik. What you need to fucking do is go inside and shave your fucking unibrow. That's what you need to fucking do. That's what she should have said to him. So then we see Trisha and she's talking to Karthik back inside and she's still going on about the housemates, how she doesn't like anyone, about how the boys are fucking annoying. And she's like, I'm the only one in here that doesn't like them and everyone else is stupider than them. That's why they fucking all like them. That's why nobody wants to stand up to them and all this stuff. And she's like, I make too much money, not to be conceited, but I make too much money. I don't need to be in here doing this shit. She's like, I just came in here for the experience or whatever. So meanwhile in Blossom Cottage or whatever it's called, Jordan and Sam are acting like little fucking children. They're trying to pour water all over Gemma and Brandy's bed, just acting like total children. I don't know why they did this. Gemma, she goes and gets a cup, she fills it with water and she starts like throwing it back on their bed. Fair enough, but like why? It was just dumb. Like it was so totally for TV. And then Brandy says, if you two come over here again, you two will be my first 2 nominations. Day 4, the housemates are waking up because Big Brother has summoned them into the living room because they have been in trouble for talking about nominations. Brandy just broke the rules the night before when she just mentioned how she would put those 2 up if they came near her again. Also, Jordan and Sam broke the rules when they were talking shit about Trisha, talking about how, they're going to put her up for nomination, basically. The house gets punished. The housemates get basic rations. So then Trisha's in the bedroom talking about Sam and Jordan and about how they were talking about her. And then Marissa walks in the bedroom and she overhears Trisha and she's like, oh, is that who they were talking about? Were they talking about you? Marissa, yes, you know that they were talking about fucking Trisha. Come on now, Marissa. So then we get to the next part of the task and it's like a last man standing kind of thing. Each of the housemates have to go one by one and pick someone that they don't want to save, basically. Someone who they want to not be safe from eviction. Since Marissa is the first person up for eviction this week, she goes first, and she picks Sean. She says it's a 1-for-1 kind of thing. Sean put her up, so she's going to put Sean up, like 1-for-1. Sean picks Trisha because of the drama of the day before. Trisha picks Sam, obviously because of, you know, they don't like each other. They don't get along. She says that Sam lives a bougie lifestyle already, so he can afford to kind of sit out of the VIP club. Sam picks Cathar. He fucking calls Karthik Cathar. This is where this whole thing starts. Sam picks Karthik. He calls him Cathar. Then Karthik picks Brandy. He says that he wants to get to know Brandy better. That's why he's picking Brandy, because they'll be in the same club together. Such a fucking cop-out, but whatever. So then Brandy picks Chad. Brandy says that Chad does not participate in the way that he needs to participate in the house in order to make friends. Chad picks Sandy. He says that he knows her the least. He speaks to her the least out of everyone in the house. Then Brandy's like, that's kind of fucked up because Sandy cooks for you every night. Sandy picks Jordan. Again, it's another cop-out answer. She says that he is close to her and he needs her to help her cook and clean in the house or some shit like that. Jordan picks Amelia. Again, it's a cop-out. He picks Amelia because he says that he wants her to make babies with Chad, and if they're all on the same side, then they're going to make babies or some shit. Amelia picks Gemma because she's the youngest out of all the others left, and the older ones deserve it more. Gemma picks Sarah because she speaks to her the least out of all the other ones left. So now, since Derek, Paul, and Helen are, you know, they got through unscathed, no one picked them, they are no longer on basic rations, and the other ones are. So then a little bit later, everyone's in the house, and Trisha's talking to, you know, the people in the house, and she says that if Sean were single, Sean would be the type of guy that Trisha would date, like on the outside, because he's handsome, he's a nice guy, he's sweet, he's a gentleman, and he holds the door open for her, and that's the kind of stuff that she likes. And then Chad is like, well, I thought you only dated assholes. And she's like, well, I only date assholes, but I like sweet guys like Sean. Then we see Paul, and he's creeping on Gemma in the living room, and like, isn't Paul like married or some shit? Like, he's asking her about her boobs and how big they are, and he's like filling her up and stuff. And she's like, I have a double G. I didn't even know that was a size. Her cup size is a double G. And then they asked Trisha what size her boobs are. She's like, they're bigger than that, but I'm a bigger girl. My boobs are a 36 triple F. That sounds huge. I don't know anything about like bras or whatever, but a 36 triple F, that sounds fucking gigantic. So then they fucking have a boob off and they flash their boobs.
Where's it gonna? Okay.
Three, go. Oh my god. Derek, same thing.
No, man.
Same thing.
Man.
They flash their boobs, but they don't show it. They like showed it from a super zoomed out angle. And Gaz on Twitter was like, that was weird that they didn't zoom in on their boobs. I'm a little bit disappointed. It was weird. Like, why didn't they? It was weird because normally they would have showed like all the boobs, but I guess it was because they're celebrities and they don't want to like be responsible for portraying them in that way or something. I don't know. It was really weird. So then later, Paul, Marissa, Jordan, Gemma, and Amelia are all sitting around, and Sam, he's there too. And then this is kind of where we get to see more of Paul's true colors, shall I say. Paul calls Karthik over to refill his drink or something because, you know, part of the VIP club, part of them being safe is them also getting to boss the other people around who aren't safe. Karthik is one of the ones who's not safe, so Paul is trying to get him to make this drink, and he calls him Cathar. He keeps calling him Cathar. He's like, Cathar, come over here. Like, I need you to refill my drink or whatever. Being super fucking assholey about the whole thing. Cathar's like, and then Karthik's like, what'd you call me? That's not my name. Are you being racist, Paul? That's not my name. My name is Karthik. You can call me fucking Karthik. And then Paul gets all mad, and fucking everyone over there starts all sticking up for Paul. Marissa, Jordan, Amelia, the girl Gemma Lucy, they all start fucking sticking up for Paul, and I'm like, what the fuck? Paul's like, don't call me a boy and don't fucking call me a racist. Do not play the racist card with me. Like, what the fuck? Well, don't be a fucking racist then, and nobody will have to play no kind of fucking card with you. There's a reason he called you fucking racist. Is because you were acting fucking racist and calling him the wrong name. And there was like a miscommunication going on because Karthik is thinking that he's calling him Qatar, which is a country in the Middle East. Qatar, Qatar. But Paul doesn't know what the fuck that is. He doesn't know what the fuck that is. He's calling him Qatar because that's what's his name? Sam had called him early on accident. And he's trying to wind him up and he's trying to be annoying. But Karthik takes this as like a racist remark because Qatar, Middle East, you're calling me a Middle Eastern country. And I'm from the Middle East, so you know what I mean? It does look super fucking racist. It really does. So he's like, are you being racist? And Paul gets super defensive, which is not the thing to do. This is a little PSA. If you're watching out there and someone calls you racist, don't get defensive about it because you will look 100 times more racist.